Video number 10 on the 10-part video series Binge Drinking Unmasked. Hello, I'm Luke Michael Howard, clinical hypnotist, change worker and creator of the Binge Drinking Rapid Reboot program. Today's video is entitled, what are your other options? What are your options for therapy to overcome binge drinking, other than me and including me? So we're going to go over that today. So this is video number 10, so well done for making it this far. I always feel like I'm being a bit condescending when I say the next thing, that I'm proud of you for making this far. But I really do mean it, because a lot of people will opt into this list. They'll want to receive these videos, but they'll take no action. They won't even watch the videos. But they feel good on some level. No, I took some action on trying to quit my binge drinking, but didn't even watch the videos and didn't change anything. So a lot of people, they still want to live in this delusion and not actually make the shift, but they opted into the video. So you actually watch the video and you're here, it puts you ahead of about 90% of people. So it's a good job, all right? It takes some effort to do that, and it shows that you're really, really serious, all right? So hopefully all this information I've put out there is getting the wheels spinning in your mind that you can overcome this binge drinking problem, malarkey, and you can do it rapidly. It doesn't take years, and it doesn't take hundreds of thousands of dollars. It doesn't take thousands of hours. No, you can do it. And the reason I know that you can do it is because I've been helping people do it for 25 years now. People like you, professional, successful women aged between 27 and 57 who binge drink and they want to stop, and they want to stop within 3 weeks and not suffer and not be in any pain and still be able to deal with the overwhelm, the stress in their life. All right, so let's talk about, because we've been on quite a journey together, you and I, right? Let's talk about what we've covered so far in the first 9 videos. And if you've missed any of these, they'll be in your inbox, or they may have been gone through your spam. They may be locked in your spam folder, so do check. And the videos are in the order they're in to get you to today, essentially. So it is important that you watch them in order, right? So feel free to go back and watch these videos. They're out there to help you. The first video is what is binge drinking, right? And that might have surprised some of you and what the technical definition is. A second video was entitled, why do you binge drink, right? The third video is, why are you in control of every other area of your life? Work, family, career, health, but it's binge drinking thing you can't control. That was the third video. The fourth one is why counseling and traditional psychotherapy therapy doesn't work for binge drinking, why it didn't work for you. Number 5 was how guilt and shame go hand in hand in keeping the binge drinker imprisoned. Video number 6 was random triggers for binge drinking. Video number 7 was how stress and overwhelm go hand in hand to keep you a prisoner in your mind and body, a prisoner to the program and the habit, some call it an addiction, called binge drinking. Our video yesterday, or so 2 days ago, was how to eliminate binge drinking rapidly. Yesterday's video number 9, was why the rapid reboot, binge drinking rapid reboot, is changing lives. And today is what are some of the options that you could use to help you. All right, so we're going to be real today. I'm going to put them on the table. Right. So you could go to counselling. You could go to counselling to overcome your binge drinking, and it does work for some people. A very, very small amount of people, but it does work. I think statistically it's about 10% of people, and probably less than that. And how traditional counselling works is you buy, it takes about a year to overcome or remotely start moving on a problem. So generally sessions are sold in 30 to 50 session blocks, because nothing's going to change with counselling in a session or two. Well, for most people, most of the time, 95% of people, because it's just talking. And I don't know if you've experienced counselling. I have, and nothing against counsellors. I think that they're well-meaning what they do. But a counsellor's just there just to listen to you. And it's really valuable in certain areas of your life to have someone who's not emotionally attached to you, a friend, a partner, family member. Just listen for the hour. It can be very valuable. I'm not discounting that. But will it help to remove the program called binge drinking, to remove the trauma that put it there and all the emotions that have kept it there? No. If it did work, talking about it to your friend or a family member or someone you trust, if talking about it worked, you'd talk about it one time and it would be gone. All right? Seeing someone who listens to you and, again, who's not judging you for 50 minutes once a week, great to have them, great to have someone, a sounding board. I think it's healthy to have a sounding board. But to help you to quit binge drinking, it's not going to work. I mean, you could try it if you haven't already. And if I'm wrong, but I've been doing this 25 years, and most of my clients, I'm not their first call. They've done the counseling, the psychotherapy, the life coaching, the other hypnotists, the rehab, the AA. Heck, they've even gone to church. And although they more may have their benefits in certain ways, they don't get rid of the binge drinking. They don't heal up the problem. Talking about it does not just make it go away. Because like I say, you talk about it one time and it go away. So you could do that. But the option are, you're going to be doing it a minimum of 6 months. Every week, talking about the same shit every week, and the needle's pretty much not going to move. And that's a minimum to get any level of shift. 6 months. You're looking at years. You know, you just look at some of these Hollywood celebrities that go to the therapist. Howard Stern and Woody Allen, you know, 40, 50 years, and they're still messed up. Okay. So that's one thing you could do. All right. And you might think, well, that's all right. A counselor's only $50 a session. $50 a session, 52 weeks a year. 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Average person's in counseling about 2 years. You know, that is, what's that? That's about, you know, the average counselor, you know, is about $100 an hour. So, you know, if you're seeing them on average for a year, which is, you know, borderline average, if you want to get anywhere moving, $100 a week, that's only $100 a session. Yeah, but you're going to need to commit for a year for it to even move. They don't guarantee anything. They can't, not legally allowed to guarantee anything. Nobody can when it comes to human behavior. But there's no end date. It's like you just keep going in. So you go and see them for a year. It's only $100 a session though, right? Over a year, what's that? $5,000? And you're probably likely to still have the same problem. And to really get it moving, you need about 2 years of counselling to start to see shifts. But after a year, it's about $5,000. So although it's not that expensive per session to actually change the behaviour, all right, you're looking at a minimum of a year. And a bog standard, just out of school counsellor is going to be charging at least $100 an hour. So that's $5,000 a year, and you're still probably going to have your problem, right? So that's one way of going. The other way is psychotherapy, right? You get a psychotherapist. And what does a psychotherapist do? They're looking at you and they're making notes the whole time. And they're, make some notes. Oh, have you looked at it this way? Have you looked at it that way? Right? Again, psychotherapy has about a 90% fail rate, meaning people continue to have their problem. But again, it's good to have someone that's not a family member or a partner or a friend who's just going to listen to you, right? Okay? That you go every week. But now you're looking at, you know, a psychotherapist, you're looking at least $200 for a bog standard psychotherapist, right? Not particularly a good one, but a bog standard, all right? Someone that you'll find in the yellow pages if they still have that. So if you're looking, you know, and to get any shift, you're looking at about a year, about once a week for a year. So it's a minimum for the bog standard low-level psychologist, you're looking at about $200 a session. You're going to need to commit to at least a year to be shifting something like this, even remotely. Or they won't give you an end date, by the way, but you'll need at least a year to get anything shifted. So you're looking at about 10 grand. It's not that expensive per session, but when you look at how long it's going to take to overcome it, and don't just trust me, you can look at the stats on this online on Google Scholar, minimum of a year to get any movement, and $200 a week. What's that, about 10 grand? So you're about 10 grand, and you're likely still to have the same problem. You could go to a psychiatrist, all right? And hey, the psychiatrist, there could be a swanky psychiatrist that's going to be charging you $300 minimum a year, or you might get it as part of your benefits package, which is great. You probably won't be seeing them a year though, because they're going to prescribe medication for you to deal with your problem, all right? And it might give you some for your antidepressant, anti-anxiety, because they feel that this may be one of the problems that's holding the behavior of binge drinking up. There may be some Zenbuterol or another form of that drug that when you do start to drink alcohol, it makes you vomit rather aggressively, nastily, to try and give you a way, what do we call it? A aversion to drinking alcohol. Again, it's all working on surface levels, all right? So if you're paying a good psychiatrist, minimum $300 once a week, you know, what's that? It's like a 12.5, 15 grand a year. You need to see them a year. Or medication. They'll just give you the medication. They won't really spend any time with you other than give you the medication. And even if it's free or it's covered in your insurance plan, there's medication there. And the medication may stop you feeling some of the overwhelm, some of the stress. The medication will also likely stop you feeling love, joy, happiness, excitement, general hope in your life. So you might not binge drink, but you might not want to do very much of anything anymore. And things might be really unpleasant in your mind and body. But that is an option. All right? Another option is you could go to AA. We could be like, well, Luke, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not here to label you an alcoholic or not, but some people do this, right? They go to AA. So well, you go to AA. It's not that, I think it's free. You go there and you're with other people that are struggling as well. AA has a 95% fail rate, meaning anyone that does even remotely stop within 3 weeks, they're back to drinking and drinking even more. I think 5% more than they were drinking before. And I always think of AA, and again, this is not to beat down AA. I think the people who created it and the model of why it was created, I think it was made to help people initially. All right? But I use the analogy of this. Binge drinker, not a full-blown alcoholic, right? Imagine this metaphor. You're a petty criminal. You've stolen an apple, but they've put you in prison. But the prison's filled with murderers, rapists, armed robbery, violent people. And now you've done something, a petty crime, but you're in prison with master criminals. I'm not saying the people at AA are master criminals. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is they're so far down that line, mostly beyond help at that point. They just don't even, they're just done. And it starts a codependent relationship of going in, oh, I see my friends now when I go to my AA meeting, I like them. It's great to have friends, but you end up defaulting. They say your success in your life, if you look at your top 5 friends, your salary will be, if you rounded them all up, it will be the common denominator of them all. So if you're around these people in these environment, you end up staying stuck. Again, it's like going to prison for a small crime, but now you're around master criminals who are doing all kinds of crimes. Become a master criminal when you get out. Again, I'm not saying the people at AA are criminals. It's not what I'm saying. It's just the metaphor is they're so far down the line of alcohol problems. The reason they keep going into the meetings is they don't believe they've got this handled. They haven't got it handled, and they've got a codependent relationship, and all the people around them in the meeting also have the same problem, worse, perhaps. And now you're seeing this, and it's being imprinted into your unconscious, your subconscious mind, the stuff that just goes in and you don't even realize it's a problem until it's a problem one day. So you could do that, right? It's long. It takes, multiple, multiple meetings a week if you've got a problem. There's certainly no guarantee it will go away, but you get a nice chip if you abstain 30 days, 60 days, you get these nice chips. But the likelihood is you will continue to drink, even if you have a timeout, and you'll end up drinking at least 5% more, because this is what the stats are on AA, unfortunately. But it's not expensive. You could do it. It's going to take an hour of your time, create a new social circle, but the likelihood of the binge drinking stopping is less than 5%, unfortunately. Again, don't trust me on this. You can look these stats up, but not on the AA site, by the way. No, look at it on the Google Scholar. What else can you do? You could go do some life coaching. Get a life coach. They'll help to get your life in gear. That's great. They're not used to working with people with traumas or addictions. They're good to help you if you want to create some stuff in your future, make more money, have a better relationship, work on your health. It's good for kind of keeping you accountable for stuff, but they're not equipped to be dealing with the trauma. Remember we talked about the trauma in your mind? This is your mind here and all those tissues inside. They're not equipped to be doing that. You get a life coaching certification in a weekend, right? If you're a binge drinker, if you've got PTSD, if you've got some kind of a horrible trauma, so you want to go and see a life coach, you've got a weekend certification to become a life coach, to deal with that stuff. I wouldn't. Listen, you can even go to another hypnotist. Go to another hypnotist, right? And, I train a lot of hypnotists. And I know how most of these hypnotists, when they come to me, how they were trained. They were trained over a weekend. They dropped a couple of grand over a weekend, and they were taught, I've got a script book. It's like a wizard's book, right? And it's got the A to the Z of every problem you can imagine, all right? And they just, they're a binge drinker and they're female. So let me go on my tablet and get to the binge drinking female and let me read that script to them when their eyes are closed in a very relaxing way. And maybe they'll have the aromatherapy oils in the air. Maybe they'll have the crystals there. Not really a crystal guy or an aromatherapy guy. Maybe the room will smell nice. Maybe they'll play some bilingual beats in the air. Oh, it's like a spa. It's really nice. But if they're looking at their script book, they're missing you. I'm looking at you when I'm working with you. So unfortunately, most hypnotists are trained like that. However, I'm a little bit different because I've got over 37 certificates in hypnosis. Dropped well over 100 grand in traveling the world since I was 19. It's 25 years ago, believe it or not. Since I was 19, learning from people far smarter than me who do change work rapidly and permanently, and it became my life's odyssey. If you remember from the last video, I told you the story of my mum and my dad and how I kind of got into this and why I started to specialize in this field. So you go to have a hypnotist and they might be really cheap, $50. I could throw $50 at this. $50 is not much. But if they're script hypnotists that read the script the same, one size fits all, already you should be seeing one size never fits all, especially when it comes to trauma and stuff as complex as binge drinking and addictions. Is they're only $50, but if they're just reading a bedtime story to you, do you think that's going to work? And even if it did, you're having to go through multiple sessions of them reading the same script, not doing therapy, just reading a script. You'd be looking at 6 months, a year, you know, and that's dropping, what's that? It's like dropping thousands of dollars, and it's not going to go away. Because why would you need to see the hypnotist who's reading the script and not watching you because they're here? Just go on YouTube. It's the same thing. And get it for free. And it's nice, you get it for free. Make you feel good. Problem won't go away though, because it's deeply rooted in there. All right? Remember, it goes back to this. It's all those tissues that are locked inside of there. Do you think listening to someone just speak and say nice things to you, whether that be in person or a YouTube, do you think that makes those things, those deep-rooted traumas go away? It might get some of the surface ones, right? But the ones that are deeply rooted in the middle, don't make that shit go away. You need someone who's in the room, who's been doing this a long time, who knows the signs that you don't even know, to help you remove them once and for all. So those are some of the things you could do. Did I mention rehab? You go to rehab as well. It's nice, like a country club. No clients have done it about 6 times, dropped 100 grand a time at it. Really nice. Met a lot of celebrity friends in there as well. They do the yoga when they're in there, they do their breathing, all that good stuff. But then they come out and the first thing they do is they binge drink as soon as the proverbial shit hits the fan. You could do a yoga class. Yoga's really good, right? You know, be centered in your mind and body. That's great. Ain't gonna make, how's that gonna make the trauma that's been deep rooted and programmed into your mind and your body that you don't even consciously know why is there? How's that gonna make that go away? It's not. You could do this like the box breathing that you learn online, where everyone's doing the box breathing, the 4 in, hold it for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4 with this. You could do that. Do you think that's going to work, making the trauma go away and taking those proverbial tissues out of this? No. It'll calm you down in a moment. Ain't going to make the trauma disappear. Right? You could chant. You could meditate. I recommend all these things. I do all these weird things. However, just meditating, just sitting there umming, or focusing on the light or the mantra, lovely. Just help to center your mind, brain activity, get you into the alpha brainwave. Recommend it. Ain't gonna make your trauma go away though, because you need some therapy. You need someone to go in there with the skill of an emotional surgeon and help to extract, with your permission, those traumas. But not just the binge drinking, because that's just a symptom. And all these other types of therapies are essentially going to deal with the symptom. All right, they're going to deal with the surface level, which you might feel, oh, wow, this is great when you leave. But then within a couple of weeks, you're back to binge drinking or doing something even worse, because all of the stuff that was underneath it. Do you remember that picture of the iceberg, and you just see the top of it, and you think that's the problem, the iceberg, but then you look underneath the water surface, and that's really where 95% of the iceberg is. Yeah, that's what most of the therapies do. If they're dealing with the symptoms, they're dealing with the top of the iceberg. They're putting a band-aid on a bullet wound. They're putting a band-aid on cancer, all right? The stuff that's really controlling it, remember, the symptom's just the symptom, all right? It's just a symptom. You binge drink, but there's something else going on underneath. We have to go below the surface, right, where the rest of that mountain is, that iceberg is, because once that stuff is healed up, let go of, you can start to let go of that program. It doesn't take you doing weird breathing patterns, in yoga classes, although you can do all those things. They're fun things to do, right? I know I'm making fun of them, but I do them as well. But I don't do them to help overcome my trauma, because it doesn't work. I need to be working with someone who's going to challenge me, who's known me, knows how my mind works, knows how the human condition works, and been doing this a long time, to help let go of it. Not someone who's going to be a hired friend that I pay $50 a week and I see him for 4 years and it's great to see this one every week. We're like friends. I don't really feel the therapy's working, but I don't want to say goodbye to him because they're like a part of the family now. The amount of times I've heard that from clients as well, they're going to counselling doesn't work. Been doing it for 4 years, that's why they come to me, but they don't want to let the counsellor go because they're a part of the family now. I don't believe in codependency. I believe in empowering you. So respectfully, the best thing you could possibly say when our work is done is, Luke, I hope I never fucking see you again. To which I say, I hope I never fucking see you again, with a big shit-eating smile. Because why would we need to see one another again? Because the work's done, essentially, within 3 weeks. Now, if you've got a different problem and you want to come back in the future, that's great. All right, you just want to check in and send me a periodical email and let me know how well you're doing, how your life is going. Makes me happy. Best part of my day. Second best part of the day. All right, but essentially I'm not here to be a part of hired friends for you. I'm here to use this metaphor, be like a cold-hearted surgeon, to go in with your permission and start to remove these traumas from your unconscious, these triggers. We can do it rapidly. All right, this is why I've done all the heavy lifting for you over the years, so you don't have to spend hundreds of grand and you don't have to see 10 other therapists, because they specialize in this. I've been doing it a long time. You know, you're not going to bring anything to me that I haven't seen 10 different ways this week already. Not that you're not unique, all right? Not that you're not special in your own way, but I know the structure of this problem. I know how it affects you because I've seen it so many times, and I know how to empower you. My job is not to keep you coming in, all right? So I get paid every week. This is my business model. It's not my business model. I'm not cheap, by the way, but my business model is we're going to come in and we're going to do surgery, all right? Mental surgery. I'm not really going to cut you open. I have to say that because even though we're over Zoom, people think, look, are you really going to do surgery on me? How can I do surgery on you over Zoom? Right, so I'm not really going to do surgery, but it's emotional, mental surgery with you to remove this stuff once and for all. And essentially, I always give my clients who come on board this, it's like when you're doing surgery, if you've ever had a surgery in your life, first time you meet the surgeon, he tells you what he's going to do. Second time you meet the surgeon, does the friggin' surgery. The third time, maybe there's a third time. The third time is just to make sure you're healing okay and take the stitches out of the stitches. That's my model. Is I charge a premium when I work with people, but it's very effective, very powerful work. I'm not here to be a hired friend. That doesn't mean I'm not empathetic for you. I totally am. I told you the story of my mum and dad. It's why I do. It's why I do what I do for the last 25 years. A lot of other things I could have done, I chose this, or this chose me. However, I want to empower you so you never need me again. All right? A lot of these other therapies, they're built on you coming back over and over again. All right? Because that's the business model, unfortunately. It doesn't work so well if you get healed quite rapidly, because then I have to get a new client. Well, I've been getting new clients for 25 years now because I don't really see people for more than 3 sessions. Why? Well, quite frankly, the problem's gone. All right? It's gone. And I want it to be gone for you. Okay? So if you made it this far, those are some of the options you can do. You know, and they might work for you. They work for someone out there sometime. You could do that, or you'll probably see underneath this video right here, there'll be a little thing that says a screening call. Okay, and a screening call is just you and I. We speak on the phone for an hour. This is not therapy. This is not hypnosis or any of this. But so I can find out about you, give you a little interview. I don't mean an interview like The Apprentice or anything like that. It's really about me finding out about you and where you're at. But really to see if we'd work well together, if I can help you, and if you're ready to be helped. A lot of people say they want to be helped, but they don't actually want to be helped. But they want to tell other people, they want to tell themselves when they go to sleep, I'm like, well, at least I tried. But they didn't actually really follow through. So I want to see where your motivation is, all right? You might be a bit scared. You might not know exactly what I'm going to do with you. That's all reasonable, all right? That's all reasonable on the screening call. We talk about that, and we address all that. But it's really to see where your motivation is with the right help. Even if you tried 50 things before and 50 other people and it didn't work, but you still actually want to change, that stuff doesn't matter before, all right? That the other stuff didn't work, hopefully you can already see a little bit different. And the way that I operate is different. If you've read the testimonials, you've watched the videos that you would have seen on my site, on my YouTube, you can see the people that I work with. I work in a very, very different way. It's a fun way with people. It's a curious way that I work with people. It's a straightforward way. There's no bullshit. There's no nonsense, all right? But it's a way where I treat you with great respect and empathy. There's also no bullshit, all right? Because I'm there to help you overcome this once and for all. Not to keep rolling over the minutes to the next month. No, let's do it now. The best time to fix this problem is when it started. The second best time is now. I'm here to help you make it now. Because if not you, who? And if not now, when? So you'll probably see a link to a screening call below. Book on the call, answer the questions so I can prepare for you. Be honest with those questions, answer them fully. Choose a time when I'm available and you're available. And we'll get on the phone and I'll tell you more about the program and if you're the right fit for the program. If you're not the right fit, I'll tell you. Sometimes I upset people when I say, this is not going to work for you because you're not ready. So I don't want to take your money, all right? I don't want to take your money, so I don't want you to go, oh, I tried this and this didn't work. Purpose is I want to see if we work well. If I feel we're going to work well, and I'm really good at reading people, because I've dedicated my life to it, then I'm going to invite you to the program. If I don't think you're ready or we won't work well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to do it in a respectful way. But I'm going to be honest with you as well, because I only want to work with people that are ready to do the work, ready to be curious about it, and even though they may have been knocked back multiple times, they're ready to let this stuff go rapidly, once and for all. So the next step is to book on the screening call below. Oh, one last thing before I go is sometimes people are like, well, I've enjoyed these videos, not quite sure if I'm ready for the screening call. So you'll notice on the website there's a couple of other options, right? There are options. There's a couple of audios on binge drinking. Now I'll tell you, they're effective. They're really good. They're made with bilingual beats, even though I goofed on it earlier on. And the suggestions that I've put on these recordings are from actual clients that I've had. The same suggestions from multiple clients that they wanted on the binge drinking audio. So you'll listen to it. It does not replace one-on-one therapy, folks. Sorry, it doesn't. Got to be honest there, all right? It doesn't replace it at all right? You need one-on-one therapy. But if you're not quite ready, it's the next step. You'll see them, they're very low cost on the website. I think they're $9.97, right? Again, this does not replace therapy, all right? So don't think you're going to get this audio and it's necessarily going to change your life. Although it could. Stranger things have happened out there. But that's something you could do if you're not quite sure about booking the call. Another option is if you're not ready to make the call or make that investment, I understand. All right. The other option is on my site, there's a video. It's I think it's like a 75-minute session that's been recorded for binge drinking. Okay, it's $97, which is a lot cheaper than it is to join the program. And again, this is not a substitute for one-on-one work, right? Because it can't be, because it's already pre-recorded. One-on-one work is when I'm working with you. You filled out the application, we've done the hour screening, I know who's in front of me, and I'm prepared for you, all right? And not your avatar, but for you, okay? But the other option, if you're not there, is there's already a pre-recorded session. Again, doesn't replace therapy. However, what it is if you were in the therapy room or the Zoom room with me, essentially what I would do with you when it comes to binge drinking, you might be, well, but what all the intrinsics, I'm special, I've got my own ways. Yeah, again, I told you, it's don't replace therapy, but it's the next best thing. If you're not quite sure about working one-on-one with me, you don't have the finances in place for that, because like I said, I'm expensive to join the program, but what you get at the end of it, you'll be like, why the fuck didn't I do this sooner? But it's the next best option. It's it's a 75-minute video, I believe, where it's me doing what essentially I would do in a real session with you. Techniques, hypnosis, psychosensory therapies, eye movement desensitization, HUNA, straight talking. So you'll kind of get a feel. A lot of people get that. Like, I'm not ready to do one-on-one work with you, Luke, but I think I'll give that a shot. And it's very effective. It's very powerful. Again, doesn't replace therapy, but it's a next best thing if you're not ready to join the program. And like I say, it's only $97. And if we work one-on-one, it's a lot more expensive. than that, but still very, very much worth it, because there's a lot less than rehab working with me, let me tell you, and a lot more effective. But you'll see that on the website as well. And again, it's about $97, very effective. How can you make a video that helps like people with this if you're not working with them? Well, it's content-free work, or content-free hypnosis, where your unconscious is filling in the blanks of your problem, essentially the binge drinking. All right, so even though you haven't gone through a screening or filled out the application form, it will be structured in such a way that you can put your problem into the various techniques that I'm going to do with you, and it's still very, very effective. We call it content-free hypnosis. So I don't even need to know what your problem is, but if you do the techniques and stuff, it can be very effective for you if you're not quite ready to join the program, which I understand. But again, it doesn't replace one-on-one work. But it is the next best thing if you're not there yet. So that'll probably be a link below this video or on my website with the products there. Okay, so those are the options. You can join the program. First step, book the screening call. There's the 1 hour video, which is a ridiculously cheap price for the 75-minute pre-recorded hypnosis session. It's a video. It's a video where I'm talking to you and actually doing techniques and hypnosis and cool stuff with you, not just reading scripts. All right. And there is the audio, which is essentially a script being reading, but that's why it's $9.97, because it's just like just dipping your toes into the water to help you. But where it's different from the stuff that you get on the YouTube and stuff, this is actually suggestions and actually the experience of working with clients and noticing the same issues, the same problems, the same triggers when it comes to binge drinking, the same emotions being triggered and what they need to alleviate it. So I've actually put real field research into these audios, and not just essentially me reading a nice script. That's been done with expertise of working with clients. So that's an option as well. Again, I don't hate to bang on the drum. None of it, the video or the audio doesn't replace the real therapy or joining a program, but it's the next best thing to do if you're not quite ready. And if you are ready, book on the screening call below, and we'll have a talk. And if you've got any more questions, we'll talk about it all on the screening call. It might be, how much do you charge? Well, right now I don't charge anything, because I don't even know if I can work with you. All right, that's why you get on the screening call, and we talk about it. As this video has been recording, the screening call is free. It's still free. However, I'm going to start charging for the screening call, because it's an hour. Sometimes I had one the other day and went 90 minutes, right? And my time's valuable to me. I love helping people, but I love paying my bills as well. Okay, so if I spend that amount of time with people, it's hard work, so I have to prepare for them. So as of recording this video, the screening call is free. However, I am going to be charging for them in the future, and it still will be a ridiculously low sum. Certainly not what I charge for the program, but I will be charging close to $100 in the future for the screening call, not the therapy, not the program, but for us having a chat. Just because I need to weed out people who are just wasting time, to be quite blunt about it, and to the people that actually want some help around it. And my time is very valuable. My energy is very valuable as well, and I want to protect that. But as of now, they are free, but they won't be free forever, the screening course going forward. But hopefully you've got something in these videos that I've shared. 10 videos we've been together, eh? Well done for making it this far. And let me know if I can be of help to you. And if I can't be of help to you, but you've enjoyed these and you've learned something, drop me a line, let me know. All right, I just, whether we work together or not, I don't really mind. I just, hopefully these start to make a shift in your mind to help you, and you realize you can change these things rapidly with the right help. And again, if you are ready, I am here. All right, I've got my arm extended for you, and I'm here to help you if it's right for you and if the time's right. But I'll see you on the other side. I've been Luke Michael Howard, clinical hypnotist and change worker and creator of the Rapid Reboot Binge Drinking Program. See you on the other side from lukenosis.com. Always believe.